Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Akhilesh and I'm a ServiceNow expert. Today we will see how to create a new flow in ServiceNow instance. For that, let's take a simple use case. So here is the use case. Whenever a new high priority incident is created in ServiceNow, automatically update the assignment group field to the service desk. So let's create a flow for this use case. This is my personal developer instance, and in order to create a new flow, go to all, type Flow Designer. And under the process automation, you can see Flow Designer. Click on that. Now it will open Workflow Studio homepage in the next tab. So if you see here, there is a button called New. Click on that and click on Flow. Now it will open New Flow page in the next tab. So if you go right, there is a button called Create New. Click on that and click on Flow. Now it will lead us to the Flow Properties section. And in this section, you have to define the properties of the flow. The first field is flow name. So I'm just giving it as sample custom flow. And the next field is description field. In this field, you have to describe about the flow, but I'm just giving it as sample flow. And the next one is application. In this field, you have to define the scope of the flow. But one very important point to remember here is once you set this property and after you saving the flow, you cannot change this property. But I'm just leaving as it is global. And if you see here, there is a section called advanced options. Click on that and you can see there is a protection field here. So you have to choose whether the flow needs to be protected as read only or not, but I'm leaving as it is. And the next one is run as. So you have to choose whether the flow runs as a system user or the user who initiates the session. I'm just leaving as is. And the next field is run with rules. So in this field, you can select the rules that you want the flow to execute with. But I'm just leaving as it is. I'm not giving any rules here. And the next one is flow priority. It is set to default to medium. So I'm just leaving as it is and click on submit. Before creating a flow, let's look at the UI components that are available on this page. If you see here, sample custom flow, it is the name of the flow. And right now the status is inactive. That is why it is showing as inactive. And if you see here, there is a button called view. With this button, you can actually view the flow in a standard way or diagrammatic way. And the next button is called test button. So by using this button, you can test the flow. And the next one is activate button. Once you build the flow, if you want to activate the flow, you can use this button to activate. And the next one is save button. So if you make any changes in the flow, if you want to save those changes, you can use this button. And the next one is additional actions menu. In this, there are different types of additional actions that are available. And the next one is help panel button. So if you seek for any help, you can click on this help button. So if you see here, there is a section called data. In this section, you have the data that is passed into the flow from one action step to another step. So if you go left, there is an option called add a trigger. We already talked about trigger in the previous lecture, but a quick recall. A trigger basically specifies when a flow should execute. Now, if you go down, there is a section called actions here. In this section, you can add an action, flow logic or subflow. Basically, action specifies what should execute and flow logic enables flows and subflows to specify conditional or repeated actions. If you go down further, there is a section called error handler. So if you enable it, whenever an error occurs in your flow, the actions you add here will run. So these are the UI components that are available on the flow page. And now we can create a flow for the use case that we discussed earlier. So let's start by adding a trigger condition. So this flow should be triggered whenever a new high priority incident is created. So click on add a trigger. Now you will see different types of triggers available here. So we'll talk about these different triggers in the next session. But according to the use case, we need to select created. So I'm just selecting created. Now we need to select the table here. So we need to select the table as incident table. So I'm just selecting incident. Here we have to define the condition. So the condition is priority should be high. So I'm just adding the filter here. I'm just choosing the field priority. And we are giving the condition as priority is high. And click on done. So once you define the trigger condition, we will move to the action section. So we have to perform the update record action here. So click on add an action and click on action. Now you will see different types of out of box actions available here. So we'll talk about these out of box actions in the next sessions. Right now we need to look for update record action. So look for update record. So here we have update record. Click on that. Now we need to drag and drop the record which we want to update here. So I'm just dragging this incident record. So we need to update the assignment group field value. So select assignment group field and select the assignment group as service desk and click on done. Once you build the flow, you need to save the flow. For that, click on save button. After saving the flow, you need to activate this flow. For that, click on activate button. So the flow is activated successfully. So we have created a flow and it is activated. Now it is time to test the flow to see whether it is working properly or not. To test the flow, I'm going to create a new high priority incident. For that, let me open the incident table. So I'm just creating a new incident here. I'm just giving a caller as able tutor and the short description as testing. Now I'm setting the priority value as high. Now I'm not giving any assignment group here. It should be updated automatically from the flow itself. Let me copy this incident number. Now I'm submitting this record and it should create a new high priority incident. Let me paste this number. Enter. Now you will see we didn't set any assignment group here, but it is updated automatically from the flow. That means our flow is working properly. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.